They sure do eat a lot. The more they eat, the more they pay. I grin at her, wiggling my eyebrows. And the more they pay, the more vacations we can take. Fiona laughs, and the two of us set off in the direction of the set's entrance. The security guard glances at the badges hanging around our necks, then nods for us to enter through the gap in the fence. We walk over plastic cable covers on the ground, along a sidewalk toward the huge white catering tent. Craning her neck to see what's going on behind the cameras, Fiona stumbles over her feet, then catches herself with a yelp. I snort, giggle, then clamp my lips shut when we get death stares from the crew. "Quiet!" a woman with frizzy black hair hisses. "They're rolling." "Sorry," I mouth, then glance at Fiona and cringe. Her eyes twinkle. "Action!" someone yells in the distance. By the time we walk through the flaps to enter the catering tent, the center of my back is damp with sweat. I wipe my forehead and let out a sigh. Has April always been this warm, or is my internal thermometer all out of whack? Fiona snorts, dabbing the back of her neck with a paper napkin. Don't even get me started. We had to turn the air conditioning on last night for the first time. I've never turned it on this early. I unpack the trays of food while my thoughts drift to my husband. He would have patently refused to turn on the air conditioning in April. I smile at the memory. The little things sometimes slip from my mind for months at a time, then come roaring back. He hated sleeping with the AC on, even when I was sweating buckets beside him. Said it made his throat dry, and for someone with lung problems, anything that impeded his breathing was a problem. Turning on the AC last night was really nice, even if it did make me feel oddly guilty. Someone runs past the tent at full tilt, and Fiona pokes her head through the opening before glancing at me over her shoulder. "It's all so serious," Fiona whispers. Whenever I see behind-the-scenes stuff from movies, everyone is always laughing and joking around. That's false advertising as far as I can tell. No one remotely looks like they're having fun. Maybe rom-coms are particularly solemn to shoot. I thought I'd at least get to see the back of Blake Harding's head by now. Fiona mock grumbles, her lips tugging at the corners. What's the point of being on set if you can't rub elbows with Hollywood's sexiest silver fox? Careful. I arrange croissants on a plate and set it down. Grant wouldn't like to hear that you have your eye on another man. If Grant could be here to meet Veronica Taylor, he'd drop everything and sprint over. She checks the coffee carafe, sniffs it, grimaces, then starts making a fresh pot. We watched Take Me to Paris last night, and he said, and I quote, "Veronica Taylor could take me to Paris any day." I laugh. Fiona's eyes soften as she shakes her head, a smile teasing over her lips. She's thinking of Grant. Her gaze lands on the glittering emerald-cut engagement ring on her finger, and I know she's swooning internally. I'm happy for her, even if my heart does squeeze into a painfully tight ball. I touch the ring on my right hand for a moment, then force myself to drop my hands and keep working. It's coming up on 3 years since Paul died, and although it didn't come as a surprise, it still hurt like hell. I've moved the ring over to my right hand before the one and only date I've been on since Paul passed, which felt significant but appropriate. I haven't moved it back. Ready? Fiona arches her brows and jerks her head toward the tent's entrance. I hear people talking, so it's probably safe to exit. Lead the way. I smile at my friend and let the remnants of grief ebb away. We exit onto the concrete footpath, and I take a deep, cleansing breath of fresh air. We live in Hart's Cove, a town on the northern Californian coast nestled amongst redwoods. In early April, the weather is starting to warm, trees are just starting to bud, and the promise of summer warmth is heavy in the air. I love Hart's Cove. Paul and I moved here when we were in our 20s, when he got